Hi, my name is Lee White, and I am asking you to re-elect me to the Board of Education here in Groton. I am a widow. I have four children, and I have 6 grandchildren. We have all been publicly educated. I now have my oldest granddaughter, who is now a second-year medical school at the University of Minnesota. Over the time that I've been on the Board of Ed, which is now 3 years, we have been granted a lot of grants. I'm using the same again. First, we had a huge grant from Columbia University on reading and writing for students and teachers. Recently, we just got a multi-million-dollar grant for middle school students from the federal government. This is going to land for 4 to 5 years, and none of this is going to cost a dime from the town of Groton. Last year, the people of Groton voted yes on a referendum for a new middle school in Groton. As I understand it, it is the first time that any referendum has passed in all of Groton. When we do this, which hopefully will be done by 2020, we will take our old middle schools and turn them into intra-magnet schools, one for science and one for arts. At that point, at some point, we will be able to get rid of maybe 2 of our elementary schools, which are now elderly at this point. And this will actually save money into the coffers of Groton. We also have some problems with budgets. Don't we all have problems with budgets? Last year, we came in at a 0 budget increase. This year, we came in, I think, in a less than, about a 1% increase. But town council told us that we had to get rid of $5 million. As a result, we had to close Pleasant Valley School. The kids are all in other elementary schools around Groton, and they are doing fine because the teachers are wonderful and the kids are great leaders and lenders. They're wonderful kids. But the class sizes are much higher than they have been. We're doing all right. This is primarily because we have terrific staff members, we have different and wonderful teachers, we have wonderful students, and we're doing beautifully well. I also would like to say that the other members on the Board of Education are also terrific, and I would like all of them to be reelected if we can do that. It's time-consuming to be on Board of Education, but I also want to tell you that it is the best job I've ever had. I want very much to be reelected to this on November 7th. And if you have any questions about me or anything about the Board of Education, please get in touch with me. My email address is leeawhite@aol.com. Call me whenever you want to, and I hope to get your vote on November 7th. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jay Whiteloff, and I'm a candidate for the Board of Education for Groton Public Schools. I currently serve on the board. I'm a member of the Negotiating Committee and past chair of the Finance and Facilities Committee. I am married with a child in the district, and I was born and brought up in Groton, graduating from Robert E. Fitch Senior High School in what seems like yesterday, but which my son reminds me was a very long time ago. At that time, we could not have foreseen the power of technology and influence on the workforce, and therefore its implication for teaching and learning, the board's mission. Schools must stay current not only in technology, but in all areas of the curriculum, and must keep teachers informed about the latest instructional strategies. In this regard, Groton Public Schools began pursuing grants to supplement this professional development. A parent, Shannon Weigel, volunteered to apply for and secured a $1 million grant for multi-year training in writing and reading in partnership with Columbia University's Teachers College. Recently, working part-time for the district, she successfully submitted a second $1 million grant for a math training program. And just a few weeks ago, she secured another, which I will discuss in a moment. Speaking of the budget, as this message was taped on October 12th, 2017, there is still no state budget in place, an intolerable circumstance which causes anxiety in towns that are awaiting education funding. Worse, while the Connecticut Constitution places the responsibility for public education clearly on the state, the trend has been to transfer more and more of the financial accountability to towns each year. It is all your money, whether provided by the federal, state, or local government. But at the local level, property taxes increase with no corresponding relief at the state and federal levels. It is for this reason that it is incumbent upon all leaders, including the Board of Education, to be ever vigilant to economize. This year, the board closed a school and offered early retirement to teachers to reduce the budget without layoffs. And while we must be diligent in providing education for children, we must implement techniques to keep these costs in line. We cannot tolerate unsustainable debt. Despite economic uncertainty, great things are happening in the district. Northeast Academy has become an in-district arts magnet school. Catherine Kolnaski School continues as an in-district STEAM magnet school. STEAM meaning science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics. Dr. Charles Barnum School was awarded the National Blue Ribbon of Excellence from the United States Department of Education. And Fitch High School is growing in international baccalaureate diploma candidates. Many recent graduates of the program are attending some of the finest universities in the country, including Ivy League colleges, the U.S. Naval Academy, and the U.S. Coast Guard Academy. Also, the district is planning to apply with board approval for a middle years program, which will provide a strong framework for teaching and learning. Implementation of this program will be fully funded under the third grant I mentioned earlier. Each and every day, our teachers are touching the lives of our students, fostering skills of reading, writing, comprehension, and critical thinking, introducing them to concepts of language, math, science, music, and the arts, preparing them for the continuous cycle of change that has always been the hallmark of civilization, but which has seemed to accelerate in recent years, encouraging them to think for themselves while collaborating with others and celebrating their differences rather than using them to divide. In short, encouraging them to be good citizens, not only of this nation, but of the world, as they prepare for the unknowable challenges of the future. It has been a privilege to serve as a part of a high-performing leadership team composed of the board and district professionals, and it would be an honor to serve another term as your representative to the Groton Board of Education. Thank you.
Hello, I am Jane Shalini, a Democratic candidate for the Board of Education. My career in education is extensive and my knowledge base is current. I hold a bachelor's degree in secondary education, master's degree in reading, and a further degree in education and leadership. Today, I want to talk to you about the important changes in children's education in Groton that will be determined by the election on November 7th. This is a critical election, one that will move schools and student learning ahead or cause them to stagnate with time-worn limitations. I'm a 17-year resident of Groton with a 37-year career in education. I have been a teacher, learner, and leader, focusing always on how children learn best and then implementing ways to improve teaching and learning for every student. It has been my life's work. I started as a high school English teacher in a city school when I was 21 and my students were 18. It was a great beginning. As I saw gaps in teaching and learning along the way, I furthered my own education as a Danforth Scholar and Aetna Fellow at UConn. I became a reading teacher and consultant for grades 2 through 12. Through the Connecticut Writing Project at UConn, I became a teacher consultant and presented Writing to Learn workshops for teachers and children in several Connecticut schools, including Westside Middle School in Groton. We all had a head start in making a difference for kids as confident and capable writers. Finally, my career led me to serve as a middle school assistant principal with its 700 kids for 2 years, and then principal in another school district for 10 years. It has been a challenging and rewarding career. I fully support the 2020 plan that was put in place 3.5 years ago and approved by Groton voters. Its purpose is to expand school choice in Groton. The 2020 plan has put the Groton School District on the right path to become a model of excellence in the region. Important steps are already in place to make that happen. We now have 2 magnet elementary schools, Northeast Academy with its arts and humanities focus, and Kolnaski School with its STEM focus. Next year, we will also have 2 magnet middle schools in Groton. They will be funded by a new $4 million MYP grant at no cost to taxpayers. This MYP program is geared for grades 6 through 10 and will extend the important International Baccalaureate program at the high school now in grades 11 and 12. In 2023, Groton will have 4 elementary schools of choice. This then is a pivotal time of important change in Groton schools. Let's note, currently, we have limited funding from the town and the state. Currently, Groton pays out $2 million annually to New London and Southeast Connecticut Marine Magnet School for our students there. Currently, we have hundreds of children on waiting lists to attend Kolnaski and Northeast Academy. We owe it to our families to support the 2020 plan and keep our children in the much-needed magnet schools in Groton. Smart decisions and fiscal responsibility will be key to our success. Choice must always be made within the confines of a competitive budget. Grants will play an important role. The Department of Defense, for example, has already awarded Groton schools a grant to fund the writing partnership with Columbia Teachers College. I am Jane Shalini, a career educator and advocate for creating new and meaningful ways to make learning relevant for our children. The 2020 plan in Groton does just that. In my retirement, I continue to give back to my community. I nurture student leadership at the high school level. I serve as the liaison for a large Rotary-sponsored high school Interact Club whose goal is helping people in need in both local and global communities. Please vote for me for the Board of Education. I have the energy and sincere interest to become part of the Groton Board of Education. I am used to hard work, many meetings, and tough problem solving in schools. I can't stress enough. This is a pivotal time for the future of Groton schools. Our kids deserve it. The reputation of Groton depends on it. The economic growth of Groton desperately needs it. And my granddaughters and all of Groton's children will thank you. Please vote for me, Jane Shalini, teacher, learner, leader, and caring citizen of Groton.
Hello, I am Jennifer White, and I am running for Board of Education. I believe educational excellence should be the main priority for each student. As a board member, I will work to increase achievement for all students. We are one Groton. I believe that students, regardless of Groton neighborhood, deserves a safe and inclusive environment to learn. I believe that the Groton public school system has a strong foundation in place. However, there is always room for improvement. As a community, we need to ensure that young children are prepared for kindergarten, that the skills gap between young children attending and not attending preschool is narrow, that children completing 3rd grade can easily transition from learning to read to reading to learn, that the middle school students develop decision-making skills to transition from dependency to independence, and high school students are provided a rigorous curriculum. The importance of academics have to start from elementary school and continue to high school. We need to hold not only the Groton Public School staff accountable, but ourselves as parents, guardians, and taxpayers for student success. Unless we work as a team, the students may not attain their potential. Education is all-encompassing, and it takes a village. To share, my experience lies in finance, particularly in strategic planning and expense management. I believe that my experience could easily be leveraged to develop a sustainable budget for Groton taxpayers. I would work to gain operational efficiencies and minimize costs. To enhance communication, I would insist on budget transparency, with the Board of Ed releasing a simplified report of major expenses and openly discuss budget and expenses. Groton deserves to have a top-tiered school system that is fiscally managed. I truly believe that a strong school system yields to increased market value for Groton residents, Groton property holders, and Groton businesses. We all want to live in a thriving community, so help me help the school system become more academically enriched and be the desired school system of New London County. Let's give our teachers the tools and support necessary to succeed within our affordability. If elected to the Board of Education, I will ensure that parents, teachers, and students and Groton community will be listened to and responses will be provided in a timely manner. As a board member, I promise to review all facts and understand the impact of proposals before making a decision impacting the community. I will be your representative and advocate. This November, you have the right to cast 4 votes for the Board of Education. I am asking for one of your votes. The Board of Education should consist of a diverse and inclusive panel representing Groton's diverse community. The board members should bring different skill sets and perspectives. When working with the superintendent and teachers, advocating for parents and children, and listening to the community at large. To close, thank you for your time, and please vote for me, Jennifer White, that's Jennifer, on Tuesday, November 7th.
Hi, my name is Rosemary Robertson, and I'm running for the Groton Board of Education on November 7th. After being appointed in the spring of 2016, I have been a member of the board serving on the policy committee, where we have averaged initiating or updating at least 2 policies or procedures each month. I'm a member of the Board of Ed, Town Council, and RTM Liaison Committee, and served as the Board of Ed representative on the Shared Services Committee in the hopes of combining our services with the town to streamline the costs of duplicate facilities in our community. I advocated for the referendum for building a new middle school that was passed in the last election and would love to be part of the Groton Schools 2020 initiative, which will provide our middle school students with a state-of-the-art educational environment that will prepare them for continuing their education to high school and beyond to the careers of the 21st century. I believe education is the most important task of a community, since it's truly an investment in that community's future. And I believe it's the responsibility of the Board of Education to advocate for the students, to ensure that the community provides the best environment for learning for all of its students. If elected, I will continue to fight to provide the quality educational system that will enhance our community and attract people to become part of the Groton community. I'm the product of the Groton school system, having been born in Noank and living most of my life in Groton. I received a diploma in nursing from Joseph Lawrence School of Nursing and my Bachelor's of Arts from Eastern Connecticut State University. I earned 2 master's degrees from the University of St. Joseph and am a third of the way to my doctorate at Regis College. I'm currently an off-shift nurse leader at Yale and have taught nursing at the University of St. Joseph, Three Rivers Community College, and Capital Community College. I also taught at Norwich Hospital for many years, where I was responsible for educating both staff and patients. but it was my experience as a student in the Groton school system that nourished my love of learning, and it's my goal to pass this on to the next generation of Groton students. So I hope you will elect me to the Board of Education on November 7th. Thank you for your time and effort.